The issue I want to raise is a couple of weeks ago I mentioned about the retention pond at the Tractor Supply. I'm going to mention it again. Nothing has been done. Not only is it an eyesore, the silt screens are still surrounding the backside of the pond. Why the wooden guardrails were put up, and I understand that there were steel Mass Highway guardrails removed, and I'm not sure that anyone ever had permission to remove those guardrails by Mass Highway. Something has to be done. I saw 3 young people in ages about 12 to 14 years old standing on the rocks, throwing stones into the pond. It looks to me like it's a bad situation about to happen. And I would hope that this board will take some initiative in making the wheels turn so that something is done about it. Either that pond has to be covered, it's a mosquito breeding ground among other things, but somebody is going to get hurt real bad, and we're all going to regret not having done anything about it. So, Mr. Chair, maybe we can initiate something, if it's the planning board or whoever is responsible for making them do something to correct the situation. It has to be corrected.
ZEO, building inspector, see if it's in site plan compliance. We don't have a visit with them. Maybe take Doug with them.
I know the planning board recently said it's not actually, it's at the Tractor Supply store, but it's actually not Tractor Supply's pond.
I understand that. I just didn't know how to identify it.
The planning board did send Mr. Bolduc a letter that was responded to unfavorably. I will suggest that they probably should invite Mr. Bolduc in once again and address that issue.
Is it realistic to cover it, Gary? Is that possible?
Well, as we spoke the other day, Al, when we reviewed that preliminary subdivision plan, that was one of the things that I criticized most, because it was apparent to me that it was going to look like it does today, and it could have been built underground, much the same as the stormwater management at North Brookfield Savings Bank, under the parking lot. It was allowed to happen, and it's quite deep and unsafe, as you said.
Oh,
the contractor took it upon himself to remove the Mass Highway standard guardrail and put in the wood fence, and perhaps that would be adequate. Unfortunately, there's not enough of it to circle the pond sufficiently so that someone does not drive into it.
It's a situation. You know, we've got pages and pages of putting up a sign in town, but there doesn't seem to be anything to address this situation, which is not for aesthetics, but it's just safety. So hopefully something can be done about it.
I appreciate Mr. Bolduc's interest in Belchertown for his business investments, but the response that went to the planning board I didn't feel was the best it could have been, and I responded to the town planner that Mr. Bolduc will be back in the future looking to build something additional on that site, and it may be in his best interest to be more receptive to some corrective actions.
Okay, thanks, Gary.